We're at a site called Marsh Park in a community called Elysian Valley, also called Frogtown. And it's called Frogtown because there were huge blooms of frogs in this area, and frogs, some springs would be like all over the neighborhood, and you couldn't like walk out of your house without stepping on frogs and stuff. And it's because again, we're still in that part of the Glendale Narrows, part of the river called the Glendale Narrows, where there's water coming up from underground. It's wet year round. It's the most, lush and pleasant part of the river in all respects. What I really want to talk about here is watershed. So the watershed is the basin that drains into the river, and the LA River watershed goes from the San Fernando Valley to downtown Los Angeles to parts of the San Gabriel Valley to Pasadena. All those, when rain falls in any of those areas, that rain drains into the Los Angeles River and drains out into the ocean in Long Beach. And so the watershed collects that, and the watershed is a connected unit where if somebody's polluting in Canoga Park in the far end of the valley, that pollution is going to come into Frogtown because we're connected.
We have stormwater capture projects going on at several levels. Of course, a lot of people just in their houses, or the city just passed a new regulation that any new development has to capture that's the first 3/4 of an inch of water. So it's going on individual properties. But in terms of a street and neighborhood level, we have little tiny projects called green streets, of which there are several in this area, Frogtown, where they're actually keeping the water from going into the storm drains to begin with. So they're just diverting it into a swale, this nice green space between the street and the sidewalk. So a bunch of these streets have those little projects that are keeping the water out of the storm drains. Then we can have these projects, which are more medium-sized projects, called Stormwater Park, where you can see as you go on your way out, they lopped off the storm drain and they essentially lowered the surface of the park.